It began on a stormy night. Thunder rolled across the sky, rain striking the palace windows as if trying to break through centuries of silence. Inside one of the most guarded residences in Riyadh, a young woman sat quietly beside a sleeping child, unaware that her life was about to change forever. She was just a nanny, invisible, replaceable, or so she believed. At exactly 4:17 a.m., a soft but firm voice broke the silence. "Pack your things. The prince wants to see you." For Maria Santos, those words didn't sound like opportunity. They sounded like the end. Maria was 26 when she left her home in the Philippines. She came from a small coastal town where mornings smelled of sea breeze and cheap coffee, where dreams were often postponed because survival came first. Her father had fallen ill. Her mother struggled to make ends meet. Her younger siblings depended on her. So like millions before her, she made the hardest choice. She left. Saudi Arabia promised income, stability, hope. But it also came with warnings, strict rules, loneliness, and a life far from home. Still, she chose hope. The house she arrived at wasn't just a house, it was a palace. High walls, armed guards, endless marble halls. No one told her much, only that the family she worked for was powerful, very powerful. Her role was simple: care for a 4-year-old boy, and she did what she knew best. She cared. She sang him lullabies in her native language. She told him stories from back home. She taught him kindness in the smallest ways. Soon the child's favorite word became her name, Maria. That simple bond would change everything. She first saw him by accident. In the palace garden while walking with the child, a man appeared in the distance, calm, composed, powerful without trying. The guard straightened instantly. The child ran toward him. "Uncle!" Maria stepped back, lowering her gaze as she had been trained to do. But the man paused. "Who is she?" he asked. "My nanny," the boy said proudly. "She sings." The man looked at her, not as royalty looks at staff, but as one human noticing another. That man was Prince Khaled. And in that moment, something unspoken began. At first, their interactions were brief. A nod, a polite thank you, a passing glance, nothing more. But something about Maria stayed with him. She didn't try to impress him. She didn't fear him either. She simply existed, with quiet dignity. One evening, he heard her singing, a soft, emotional melody filled with longing. The next day, he asked her, "What was that song about?" She hesitated, then answered honestly, "Missing home." That answer stayed with him longer than expected. Days turned into weeks. Conversations slowly grew. They spoke about life, hers filled with sacrifice, his filled with expectation. Two completely different worlds, yet both felt trapped in their own way. And somewhere between those conversations, something dangerous formed. It happened during a sandstorm. The child fell sick. The palace grew silent. Maria stayed awake all night, caring for him. At sunrise, exhausted, she fell asleep beside the child. Prince Khaled entered quietly. He watched her for a moment, then gently covered her with a blanket. A simple act, but in a place built on rules and hierarchy, even kindness could be dangerous. And someone saw. Whispers spread quickly, too close, too familiar, too inappropriate. Maria was called in and warned, "You are here to work, nothing more." The prince received his own warning. This must end. He was reminded of duty, legacy, and an arranged future. Love was not part of that plan. They stopped speaking, avoided each other, pretended nothing had ever happened. But silence didn't erase anything. It only made everything louder inside. One night they spoke again, carefully, with protocol in place. "I'm sorry," he said. "So am I," she replied. Simple words, but heavy with everything they couldn't say. Soon after the decision was made, Maria would be sent home. No explanation, no drama, just removed. That's when the message came. 4:17 a.m. "Pack your things. The prince wants to see you." She thought it was goodbye. But when she entered, he was alone. No guards, no titles, just a man. "I can't pretend anymore," he said. "I care about you." Silence filled the room. Maria's voice was soft but steady. "I care about you too, but I was never meant to be part of your world." And that was the truth. She returned to the Philippines, back to her family, back to reality. But something inside her had changed. 3 weeks later, a man arrived quietly in Manila. No security, no royal signs, just a simple traveler with one purpose. He found her, in a small cafe. No grand gestures, no dramatic reunion, just two people sitting across from each other. "I don't know if I was brave enough to come here," he said, "or just unable to forget you." Maria smiled gently. "I missed you." He returned home and made a decision that shocked his world. He refused his arranged marriage. For the first time in his life, he said no. The consequences were real. His influence faded, his position weakened, his future changed. But he didn't take it back. They stayed connected, through letters, through patience, through choices. No fantasy, no shortcuts. Just two people deciding if love was worth the cost. 2 years later, Maria returned, not as a worker, but as her own person. There was no public announcement, no royal spectacle, just a quiet understanding. He stepped away from power. She stepped into a new life. Together. This is not a story about wealth saving poverty. It's not a fairy tale. It's about two people who met in a world designed to keep them apart, and still chose each other. Some stories are loud and celebrated. Others live quietly, in choices made before sunrise, in songs sung far from home, in love that survives without needing permission. And somewhere between a palace and a small town, two lives crossed and were never the same again. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories.